What can I say? Always when we win a trophy is important, but especially it was special because we had a tough 2 weeks, and especially against opponent. So it's the strongest one. What I've done in the Champions League is so difficult, and the way, especially the second half, in the first as well, the first 15 minutes they suffocate us. We could not breathe. And after that, when we won some second balls and we start, to play, and especially Jeremy in the second half and Ryan. So I'm really pleased because I know against the opponent we face, Mikel create a team like is almost unbeatable, and especially the way that make us happy. And of course, bring the 5th Carabao Cup in 10 years is not bad.
You are the manager who's won it the most, 5 times. Of course, each one has a different story, but what is special about this one?
Every time you win a title, it looks like more difficult than it was in the past. Now, win a title is really complicated for many reasons, for the amount of games, for the amount of consistency you have, for the quality of the opponents, and that's why it's over time. I said, last time we won one title, I don't remember which one, I said, maybe it's so difficult. It doesn't matter which one, and especially the team behave unbelievable.
What is hardest, Pep? Is it to win so many titles in a row with pretty much the same team and just keep winning, or is it to rebuild little by little and go back to winning?
Yeah, when you start to win and still the generation is young and still they are there, you can continue that. But we bring a lot of players that are still, because it's not about what we have to do. I need to know them. So I need to know how they behave in certain moments in that way, the connection display in this player. And today in the modern football, and you lose games, you are no chance because everyone is so competitive and difficult. And I think will be a good learning for the future, that team. And hopefully next season we can do better.
With Nico O'Reilly, how happy are you to see him score twice, because you saw different things on him, you moved him around the pitch. How satisfying is it for you personally?
Maybe I have been the sign of the season, right? So when I started the season and we have a long conversation with him, he didn't know he want to play, and yeah, for different circumstances, for injury at the beginning, he started to play in the left back and impressed a lot, his physicality in the set pieces, in the game, can play. He played in I remember, Newcastle, a holding midfielder alongside Nico Gonzalez. It was unbelievable. So he can play in many roles. He's a guy in the final third in the position like he likes. He's an attacking midfielder, going in the box. He's really good in the aerial situations, especially offensively. Defensively must improve and make 2 fantastic goals.
You said recently that this team is so close to being where you want them to be in so many aspects. How much of a step was it today for them to be even closer to the team that you want?
We in hell, but still we are not the team like, for example, Arsenal are, or like we were in the past. Like always we found a way, to win titles. And this team is still, but what I said before, I'm not suspicious now to say it after win the Carabao Cup. It was underneath, we were close, but you have to refine, you have to insist and rework, and because the teams, you don't understand why you are there, and nothing, you are on the bottom. So warnings always has to be on, and of course, but for the club, for a lot of new generations start to do that is very important.
And finally, how do you expect this trophy to reflect on the title, the Premier League title race?
I would love to have 9 points in front, to be honest. I would like, so it's in their hands, so they do it a lot. I don't know, now I need personally an incredible break. I'm exhausted, devastated, and after we see step by step, but of course they have, I think, Nottingham and West Ham, the drop points there that punish us a lot, but yeah, we try, one game a hand, they come in at the Etihad Stadium with our people, and continue quarterfinals against Liverpool at home. That I think that will help us for that tournament, especially. Hopefully the people can come, our fans. That today was amazing. Last season, for example, maybe were not full, and today they come all Manchester here, and I'm so happy for them because last 2 seasons I've struggled a little bit, but for happy, and people will try.
Well done, Pep. Enjoy.
Thank you, Rita.
Talk about the race for the league title in just a moment, but he is now out there on his own as a manager when it comes to League Cup titles. He has now won 5. And the other thing as well, Micah, in cup finals in general, he has won 18 out of 22.
He's a master, isn't he?
Which is, I mean, that is a phenomenal record, isn't it?
And that's why he's so incredible in what he does, the way he plays football, the way he approaches the game, the way he always wants to win the game. You know, when you see other coaches tactically will go maybe into a defensive formation or wait, no matter what, he wants to win football with attacking football. And there was that game when he went to a 5 at the back at Arsenal, wasn't there? Yes, at Emirates.
5-4-1, yeah.
And it was
Defensive.
strange to see him do that because normally he would always be on the front foot. But in terms of big moments, he's one of the best to ever do it, without doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, and a coach of his stature, he's not stuck to one, you know what I mean, one formation. If he feels he has to come to Arsenal and he's Man City and he play 5-4-1, he'll play 5-4-1. But you can see him at the sideline here. It means the world to him. You know what I mean? His team playing well and you know, playing to a certain standard. It's really good to see. It's really good to see. He won't let them rest on anything.
Because you can kind of look at the different levels of why he's pleased about today, whether it be simply winning a trophy, which is what they're all in it for, whether it be the new players that he's talked about, whether it be, you know, his relationship with Mikel Arteta, and then the league title race as well.
He played it down when he was asked a question about the league title.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, of course you'd rather be in Arsenal's dressing room. You've got a 9-point buffer, but that can quickly change. And what I feel if Arsenal would have won today, I just think that would have put Manchester City to bed. Now, it's just asked the question, has the pressure will just ramp up just that extra little bit. There was a bit of a break now, obviously, with the internationals, and it gives Arsenal a lot of thinking time. That they are the favourites, and rightly so, and I still think they will win it. But it just changes the dynamic. For a team that hasn't got across the line, now you've really asked the question, OK, we're coming after you. And I think with a team like Manchester City, that's probably the last side you want.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that probably goes against them, Ian, is that they've drawn 2 games against West Ham and against Nottingham Forest at the wrong time. But now this has given them that little bit of confidence again.
You know, the thing is people are saying the 9 points, and I think this is not a bad thing for Arsenal to reset themselves and refocus, because they have to. It's not going to be easy, because there's no way that Man City players are going down into that tunnel. This is 9 points, but then they've got a game in hand and they've got to play them. It can go down to 3, and then all of a sudden the pressure really turns up. So this Man City side, make no mistake, you know, him saying he wants to be 9 points. This 9 points is a tight 9 points, and this is what I feel from Arsenal's point of view have to do. They have to really refocus and just get themselves back on track in what they want to do. They need to win games now. You know, people talk about how they win in the games, they set pieces. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows it doesn't matter. We've got a DNA of winning games, resilience. They've got to kick into that, because I think this team, they know it's not over. It's not over. If we're going to be totally honest about what's going on, it's not over.
What happened with Arsenal today, though, right? From your point of view?
That, you know, like I said, Meeks, I saw that when City were pressing them really high, it seems like City were pressing them really high because I think for a start, Saka's not going to be blasting. I don't think Gyökeres is going to be blasting with the kind of pace that's going to cause him problems. And I don't think Trossard is going to either. I think when you look at how poorly our midfield was in respect of Zubimendi's retention of the ball and how he kept it, it wasn't good today. So even if we were going to try and play out, we didn't have the players who were playing well enough for it. And then all of a sudden, it just kept the ball. We got the ball up top to the guys, Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. It came straight back. And so after the 15 minutes, after that chance, hopefully that chance went in, maybe they would have played differently. But once that chance went in, all of a sudden, City just got more and more confident, just more and more playing, and then more and more expand, and then they just started playing how they play.
Do you give City credit for how they neutralised Arsenal, all of you, in that they particularly in the second half, they couldn't play it short because they pressed high, and yet they couldn't go long because they couldn't keep it up there because City defended as well as they did. If
you looked at the stats today, it felt like Kepa had more touches of the ball from Arsenal than anyone else. He was waiting on the ball, holding the ball. And the disappointment would be...
Which is my point, sorry, about therefore do you give City credit for that because he was there holding the ball and had no options?
But I also think you have to look at Arsenal as well, because one thing, they lost Odegaard and no Eze today, and that's a huge blow because you need somebody, as I always think as a midfield, that's where you can win the game, especially if you get hold of it. Cherky started to influence the game second half. You didn't really see Kai Havertz. But the one thing I will say is, even when they went direct, against Ake and Kusanov, they were brilliant because that physicality that Arsenal would think they might be the dominant factor never transpired. They dealt with them so well. I never saw Havertz or Gyökeres win a header or a second ball. So you were never really able to get hold of that game in that area, Ian.
So that's why it felt a little bit like things are going to have to change, because for me, I said it once we started sitting down there after the 15, 20 minutes, I said this game, it needs Martinelli. Because what we needed was, we needed an out, get everybody up, excuse me, and then try and press them up there, maybe win the ball back, and then see if we could attack them further up the pitch. But we couldn't get out. We couldn't get out because as soon as we got out, Gyökeres would lose it or Kai Havertz would lose it. They'd get it and they'd straight back at us. Straight back at Nkapie, who was on a yellow card.
I think that's exactly right. But I think in answer to your question, Chappers, yes, it is down to Man City as well because they were brave. If you look how they set up when Arsenal had the ball and the goalkeeper was dawdling on the ball, they was going a 4-4, wasn't they?
Yes.
And previously, Man City sometimes go with a 3 and they just didn't let them out. But then the defenders had to be brave and go all the way up. That's why you've seen so many tussles in the first half a little bit. And then they saw in the second half, they built on that momentum and Arsenal was making so many individual errors. And I think in modern day football now, everyone is so on trying to play out from the back. Sometimes you just need to kick the ball long, squeeze up, and then get a breather, and then see if Arsenal can do that to Man City. But they just couldn't get anywhere.
Jay, do you think that with Kepa, obviously, mate, we could talk about a goal. Do you think with Kepa, because I haven't seen City do that before, the 4 up like that. Do you think they wanted to keep the pressure on Kepa in playing out like he did? Because it was very shaky. It wasn't solid, was it?
Absolutely. He never looked comfortable with the ball at his feet, because also the way that Arsenal are so used to playing with Raya, who's unbelievable, probably one of the best sweeper keepers I've ever seen, because he makes great angles for the centre-backs as soon as they've got the ball. It's totally different when you've got a different keeper in there. And I think that, of course, he makes a mistake, but I just also think when you've got a goalkeeper that's not used to playing with your back 4, don't complicate it.
Yes.
You know, and Mike, I want to bring you back to something that you said off camera, which was a great point. You said
which what?
very early in the second half, he said he's got to take off Nkapie. He's got to make the change. He waited, and all of a sudden, 1-0, he was going to make it. They're all ready to come on, and they go 2-0 down. Then the game's pretty much gone. You're not going to get back in it from there. But they should have made that. I think he should have made that substitution early because it'd been booked.
I think you're right. I think we all played football, even at your level, Chappers. Momentum's a big thing in football.
Exactly.
And when Semenyo went up against Nkapie early in the second half, I would said he needs to get him off. Because on the goal, like you said, he wasn't getting tight because he can't trust him. You know Nkapie, he's been brilliant for Arsenal, but he's been brilliant because he's been aggressive. And he couldn't be aggressive because he was on a yellow card. That's when I think the mistake was made. He should have changed it after he's seen Semenyo was getting the better of him earlier on in that half.
Just on aggressive defending, can I just do one more on Manchester City? And then after the break, we're going to hear from Mikel Arteta. We can do more of Arsenal. Kusanov.
Outstanding.
And I think if you don't watch City week in, week out, you will still go back to the debut. He had a horrific debut, didn't he, for City against Chelsea? And yet, you talk to City fans, and they are telling us that he is one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment. With how he is performing, as I say, I mean, he flattered Gyökeres and got a yellow card in the first half, but he does look transformed.
Yeah, but you have to look at the setup. When you watch City play, and that's why Kyle Walker was so important, City have so many men forward at a time in the game where if your positioning is not right, you will get exposed, and that's why I miss Kyle Walker. Núñez went into right back, but Kusanov, because of his pace now, you see him, he's starting to read the game. He played unbelievable against Real Madrid. It's one of the best performances I've seen from a young centre-half. And then you build that confidence, you know what you're doing, and then you trust him. And when your teammates trust you, it just gives you that little bit of confidence. And that is
Go on, James.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think it felt like a big moment for him was in the Carabao Cup early in the season. We were at the game at Newcastle away when he started with Max Lane. And I said before the game, I was definitely wrong. That's an area where Newcastle can really exploit.
He wasn't wrong because of the inexperienced.
He was fantastic. And he's just been given time because a lot of players, that debut was horrendous. But in terms of, you almost, as a player, you felt so sorry for him.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
His head was in a tumble dryer. I know he just signed. He probably shouldn't have been exposed to that.
Yeah.
But unbelievable how he's come back. And he's got he's got a lot of valuable commodities, but the one that he's got in abundance is pace.
Lightning.
He is so quick.
It always helps.
You know the thing, what I would say with him, this is why I'm saying, you look at someone like Christian, you've got to watch him and how he plays. He's one of them defenders, Micah, James, he wants to win the ball in front. He wants to win it because you've got to start making the kind of movement to make him think, I'm going to go there, then I'm going to go here. You've got to start making him think because what he wants to do, he wants to nick it in front. He wants to come and hit it in front. They need to start making a movement for me, Gyökeres, where he's going to go there, but he's going to go long, so he's got to give Kushner some form of problem. And it didn't happen today.
And I'll tell you what he did fantastically well, because we spoke about with getting booked, Hincapia. He got booked early in the game. But he still managed it well.
Yeah.
He never got himself in a position. He knew when to get tight and be aggressive, and he knew when to step off. But that was the difference. In Capia, like you say, he just didn't know what to do. And that is also credit to Semenyo and Cherky down that right-hand side.
Mikel, obviously a big disappointment. How raw does it feel right now?
Yeah, it's painful when you get to a final and you have that will to win the first trophy of the season after 8 months working on it is always tough. The game had moments in the first half. I think we were very good. We had the best chance of the game so far to put it 1-0, and then the game would have been different. In the second half, we started not so great, and the first 15-20 minutes we have problems sitting too deep and then giving the ball away straight away too many occasions. But the reality is that they had 2 shots and they scored 2 goals, and that's the level as well.
What's your overall feeling about how your team have played, though? Do you have that sort of nagging sense that on the big day you didn't quite deliver your best level?
There are 2 different halves. I think the first half, one that is very positive, and the second half in every sense, and the second half, especially the first 20-25 minutes, a different one. But as well, you have to give credit to the position and the level that they have, and that's not a coincidence. That's what they've done in the last 10 years.
What happened in that phase of the game? You seem to suddenly start to find it so difficult to get out.
To get out from?
From the keeper to you were obviously trying to bait the press, and it felt so difficult for you to get up the pitch.
We were imprecise on time. We had the opportunities to break them through. We give the ball away. When we regained the ball, we gave it straight back, and then they had momentum in deep, which they're going to do at times because, as I said, they are really good on that. And then, without really creating nothing, they scored the first goal out of nothing, and 3 minutes later, the second one.
A genuine question. Is there anything more you can do in those moments? There's a couple of phases where Kepa holds onto the ball with it at his feet for like 40 seconds. Is he doing the right thing there to try and bait the press, or is there another way around that?
We talk about a lot of things, and it's not the moment to talk about that.
And obviously, for the manager, always, if you win, you're a genius. If you lose, you're the guy who has to answer the questions.
Which I am.
Which you are, absolutely. But any regrets about the choice of goalkeeper? That will be the headline from that, I guess.
I would do it again because he deserves to play this game, and he's been phenomenal for us, and that's it. Errors are part of football, and anybody can make them.
Do you think the weight of necessity, expectation, they're used to winning, you're trying to obviously make a breakthrough, does that play any part today?
I don't think, because if not, I think we would have seen it in the first half, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Last question then, how important to stay calm in this moment? You've still got potentially a huge, magical season ahead of you. And I remember after Wolves, and I remember after Man United, you stayed calm, you kept the team sort of on message. Is it another important moment for calm heads?
We had 8 incredible months together. Today is our disappointment. Football is part of that, and then we have to work and improve and use that fire that we have in the belly right now to have 2 amazing months at the end of the season.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so surprising, is it, that he's going to say he's got no regrets over his selection. He's not going to come out and go, actually, with hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have switched my goalkeepers. Yeah. He's got to support his players. That's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is obviously it would have been brilliant for us to win this for the fans. They haven't seen us lift a trophy. Probably when we did lift a trophy is in the COVID, so it would have been nice for the fans. But in respects of, like I say, the project and what we're doing, the main thing is to focus on the league. this would have been good. And I think that we have to be in the mindset of, come on, let's get ready, let's go again. You know, it's unfortunate. City done well, they're a great side. They punished us for the mistakes we made, but we've got bigger fish to fry, so let's go and focus on that.
Does the international break help, do you think? And actually they've got the FA Cup as well, so it goes international break, then FA Cup.
Yeah.
So the next time they play in the league is what? 3 weeks away.
There's plenty of time, but like Arsenal's record, they've scored the joint most goals with City, and they conceded the less goals. They're still playing well, they're still making themselves difficult to beat. They're not making it comfortable to watch an Arsenal game in respect of the latter stages, apart from what Max done the other day. But like, they're still winning games, and we've got to go to the positive place because we want to finish this off. This is the 4th season we're trying to do it. Can't finish second again. We've got to try and finish this off, and that's where we need to make sure that the energy is focused on getting that done.
So would you have started Raya today?
Me personally?
Yes, just
me personally. Yeah, of course I would. Because I
said that before the game as well,
yeah,
right?
Only because, listen, I don't mind the sentiment, of playing playing the second keeper. I don't mind it if that's what you want to do. But for me, if you want to win the tournament, you want your best goalkeeper in. I think that's just how I feel about it. And I think that kind of mistake is the reason I can say that, and the reason why fans will probably say, well, Raya should have started. But he doesn't regret it. He believes it was the right decision to make. Unfortunately, he made that mistake, and now, again, you just have to think to yourself, well, it was a gamble and it didn't work out.
The flip side of that, of course, Jamie, and you said you would have started Raya at the start as well. The flip side of that is that anybody can make a mistake. And as I asked you pre-match, if at the start of the Carabao Cup campaign you say, I'm going to go with my number 2 keeper, and you get all the way to the final that way, players are going to appreciate the loyalty of that, aren't they?
I think they'd appreciate it if you hadn't dropped that ball and Raya was in goal. So no, I don't get that sentiment, if I'm honest, Mark. It's just the way I am. I don't. This has become a new phenomenon over the last few years. Now we've seen Kepa. I'm not trying to jump into his grave here, but we saw him something very similar happen when he was a goalkeeper for Chelsea.
Sarri,
when he had Sarri and he had cramp, and then he missed a penalty. So I don't really like this, but Kelleher is a great example where it's gone really well for, because he did that for Liverpool. Now, each to their own. I don't like it. I just feel that it should be, you're trying to win it. Max Allane is a really good young defender. He played against Newcastle as a centre-back. So brilliant. He did really well. But does that mean that you're going to keep, because he did really well against Newcastle, let's play him at centre-back. The most important position where, especially with goalkeepers being a little bit rusty, they make mistakes. So he looked at it, and that mistake looked like a goalkeeper that hasn't had a lot of form. It doesn't make any sense to me to do it. But it's become a new thing, and it's great, it's been nice, let's keep our goalkeepers happy. Arsenal need to win trophies. That's the stick that beats them all the time. Now, if they win this one today, and I don't think David Raya, people might say, well, David Raya made a mistake against Wolves a few weeks ago, but that was a totally different one to that one today. I just think I wouldn't.
That just shows deep down, this is deeper than just this game.
Jump high, huh? Jumped high when he jumped. That was incredible.
In good shape. Were you able to do that in your Cowboy
great.
boots?
Probably not. I mean, not as high, but
I don't know. Grella just randomly got on the floor for a social video earlier to stretch his legs out.
Hey. That was off camera. Take it easy.
Wild things happen.
But no, incredible. Again, a manager like Pep, maybe the world's best, celebrating like that for the EFL Cup. I never want to hear someone tell me again that the EFL Cup doesn't matter, because it does matter. And what an occasion at Wembley. What a result. We just heard from Nico O'Reilly. He said himself, there's blood in the water. There's blood everywhere here. So just incredible to be part of it and see Pep win and celebrate like that. Incredible.
But to reinvent yourself, to do what he's done, have a season like last year when everyone's questioning him, and he'll probably say rightly so, but to reinvent yourself, do it again, even this year, or even last week, people were questioning him, going out in the Champions League, Real Madrid, there's all this fun stuff. Reinvented, that's what you see is the difference between a good manager and a great manager.
Legendary manager.
I win, and every time I win, it feels better than it did the last time, because everyone said I can't do it.
Sorry, Troy.
There you go.
Listen, let's be honest. Most people at home, if I had his trophy cabinet, I'd be gone long time ago. Thank you very much. I don't need the stress. I mean, you have to be wired a special way to continue to want to win, continue to take it personal, continue to have these standards for yourself after having what he's been able to accomplish, not only as a player, but also as a manager. So You have to respect what he's been able to do, but just do the math. Everyone else would have said, look at the bank account, full. Look at the trophy cabinet, full. Yeah, it's like, for me, I'm gone. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Are you reading into his future with Manchester City based on today? Do you think it showed today that he has more to give even to this club, or just football in general?
Just to still take it so personal, still want to win so bad after you won that much. I think that's a special trait that not many people have, and that's why he's special.
That's not something you can gain. That's something that's in you. That's what people have to understand. It's why we talk about individual personalities and characters. There are some people that are just wired like that, ultra competitive, want to win everything, and they can't just turn it off. Everything is competitive. It's about winning, continuously winning, and that's something that's in him. You can't be a manager and start to say, oh, listen, I want to become a winning manager and continue to do it. No, it's just in you from the start, and that's what makes him unique when you talk about the other ones as well.
Does it feel even sweeter, the fact that it is against Mikel Arteta tonight?
100% it does. Again, we're going to get him in a few minutes. He'll probably tell you it doesn't. Of course it does. He'll say, oh, we're friends and this. No one wants to be overtaken. I don't want to be overtaken.
By your successor.
By the successor. I definitely don't want to be taken over by my kids. I don't want to. I taught you how to do this. Stay there. You want to keep that distance. So 100% this feels better. I tell you what, though, if they catch him in the league, that one will feel even better. It'll feel even better. I might ask him that in a few seconds.
I mean, who would you rather be at this point in the season, Grella? Would you rather be Arsenal or would you rather be Manchester City?
That's a fantastic question. I think on the night, the emotion of tonight, you would say Manchester City with the way that they played, and we said that they're going to go for the Premier League regardless of where they stand in it. But the reality of the situation, Arsenal got a very, very favourable tie in the Champions League. They got 9-point lead in the Premier League, still in the FA Cup. So I think probably rather be Arsenal, to be honest.
Yeah. No, you'd rather be City. Been there, done it. You've got the experience. What?
You can't join in between the two. Congratulations.
And here comes Pep Guardiola now.
There you go.
Good to see you.
Stay connected in Watford or not?
I'll try it.
Massive congratulations.
He's the mayor of London here.
Pep.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
There you go. I know you like to celebrate.
Tonight.
I'm a cigar connoisseur as well, so.
It's a good present.
Yeah, it's a great present.
That's a good one.
Just pull that out there when I...
There you go.
Good tonight, I promise you.
Pep, you don't want to let anybody else win. Huh? You still have so much drive, huh? How is it possible? That's what we're trying to figure out. How is it possible you win so much and you want to continue to drive to win, and how important it is for you and the team?
Yeah, it's really important. Tito's help for most of the players, the first title, or first time we are here. Today is against which team we won. So this is the strongest one in Europe right now, and Champions League look in the Premier Leagues, and to beat them for many aspects it looks like, and so difficult. They prove it for many years, but especially this season. And of course, Carabao Cup, we are happy 5 in 10 years, but especially against them. I have a huge respect. I want to say thank you because they wait all the team until we were down. That it was an incredible gesture for Paro, Mikel and their people, and really pleased because we make especially first 10-15 minutes they suffocate us like always that. Always Arsenal does, but the second half was our maximum, I would say, the way we had to play.
My question for you, Pep, is how do you find a way to continue motivate football players, especially at this level, to want to be successful and want to win continuously?
I want to be honest, if I have to do it, will not be possible. They have to themselves, the athletes, the football players, when they play, they want to win, they want to perform well. Of course, when they are dropped, I have to be there to tell them the truth, because today the modern football, the players, all of us, we listen from outside, you know. We have to tell them what really I believe the team needs, but they come for them. So I'm not going to motivate Rodri or Bernardo or Nathan Akes or Erling. They come from themselves. They have the nature, and that's why the reason why in this 10 years we won 19 titles, so it's easy to say, but it's so difficult to accomplish.
Pep, we were just talking as well about your desire to win. We love watching you on the sideline. I think we've got a video here of you celebrating when that goal went in. Describe that emotion when Nico O'Reilly scored the first and then the second.
I got a yellow card. But if I am a manager, I cannot express the feelings. That what sense? You know, we are not an artificial intelligent people. You know that. So if you score a goal in a final against that team, I cannot celebrate it running with my fans. Say, well, yellow card, it's okay, and maybe a red card if you want. But I want to celebrate it, so I'm sorry. So
Pep, we just asked Nico O'Reilly, do you smell blood in the water now? Psychologically, this win obviously is big against that opponent, as you keep saying. Do you smell blood in the water now and you want to go and attack? You wish there was no international break, right?
No.
You want international?
No, I want international break. No, Troy, no. I'm devastated, exhausted. So I've been a tough week. So now I need to come to my kids and rest a little bit. And I think after that we have the qualifying against Liverpool at home.
Yeah.
That game will help us for our people. Thank you, our supporters. Today was full. Our blue part side was completely full. And it will be nice to play against Liverpool at home after win the first title of the season.
Pep, one more question I want to ask you. We could talk about the football, we could talk about the psychological. There's something else that you know that nobody else knows in this game, because you said it yourself, but we beat them. It was important to beat them. And you have that extra in the game tonight. What is that the special ingredient that you have extra than in a moment like tonight?
I think when you are in a competition, a different competition, and one opponent is better than you play against them, that is the ones you want to beat. Mm-hmm. So because it is the benchmark right now in the Premier League, so have been unbelievable. So but now it's just to try that. I think come for normal. You know, it's we read all these days. Who gave us the minimum option to win? It was not much, to be honest. You know, when the people say it's normal because the trajectory of them, our trajectory in our weeks, we didn't win Nottingham at home, we didn't West Ham away, we lost 5-1 aggregate against Madrid, so it's normal. So that's why I said, okay, let's prepare, let's try it, and today it works.
Oh, well, congratulations,
Thank
Pat.
you,
The
guys.
first of 3 potential
Thank you,
trophies
guys. Thank
secured
you.
for this
Enjoy
season.
the
Enjoy your cigar.
Enjoy the cigar, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
See you soon.
Okay, everybody, stay with us. More to come. Pep Guardiola, what he's done with Manchester City is pretty incredible, isn't it? He's now got the most Carabao Cup final wins as a manager with 5, outdoing Brian Clough and Sir Alex Ferguson. Jose Mourinho is in there. Nigel, the talk was about the master and the teacher. It looks like the master is still on top after all.
The master's still on top, and again, credit to him. I think people don't really realise how hard it is as a manager to find a way to energise your team and a group of footballers to want to continuously win. And there we see the pictures there. It's not just about the players. All those people there, you see the backroom staff, the football club now play such a big part in keeping that winning mentality. If I'm not mistaken, that's my old little kit boy there. He used to be at Bolton. Yeah. So, but it's amazing what Pep does, because now it's not just managing the players, but it's also managing those group of staff members to make sure that they're all focused, they're all in the same direction that you want them to be as a manager, to make sure that the players are right to go and perform at the highest level.
Listen, we're going to have Pep on. Maybe we get a couple players as well. And they're going to come on and they're going to tell you that, no, it's business. It's not personal. There's no ego involved. There's trophy is important, but we got to focus on other things. There's ego here. He didn't want to let Arteta win. No question about it. He doesn't want to let anyone else win. He's a trophy monster. That's clear. Most in the history now, that's what the graphic shows. He doesn't care. There is personality. There is ego. Tonight was more than a game of football for them. They knew what it meant if they won this trophy. They knew what it meant to make Arsenal watch them in the stands, lift the trophy. They understood the psychological effect of that. And now, to me, it seems like, okay, there's a 9-point gap. That's the reality. But there's blood in the water. If you think that these guys are going to go in the changing room tonight and not think, hey, we got them the rest of the way. They're going to slip up. They have to play them, by the way. Are they at home?
Yeah, at home in a couple of weeks.
They have to play them at home in a couple of weeks. They smell blood and they smell fear. No question about it. They might not come on and say that, but that's the reality of the situation.
I love this guy. Says exactly what I'm thinking. Absolutely. But again, we spoke about the mentality of Arsenal. Put that to one side for a moment. These have had a tough couple of weeks, maybe even a year. People questioning Pep, whether his message is getting stale, whether the players are good enough. We spoke about it yesterday. Do they have a Vincent Kompany type in their team anymore? They still get the job done. They still get the job done. And the way in which they won the game today, they handled the second half great. They played really well. 2 goals. If they nick it 1-0, I don't think they smell blood. But now they've got 2-0, could have got 3 and 4.
And play better than them. And play better than them from the first minute to the last.
Like they were going to score, did they, Nige? As to your point, late on in the game, you did feel like the longer the game went on, it just wasn't Arsenal's night.
I believe as soon as it went 1-0, I said the game's done. You could see by just the Arsenal fans and the players on the pitch, you could see by their reaction, it was like, oh, I didn't see a reaction of, now we can open up and really go at them. I just said, for me, when it went 1-0, game's done. Manchester City are going to get another. The momentum was in favour of them. Manchester City players came alive and wanted to be even more aggressive after that first goal. But like to these guys say, I think the one thing that Troy likes, got to know Troy now, adversity. Pep has been through a lot of adversity recently, and Troy and Grella and I like those characters who they embrace adversity. I'm going to show you. They don't shy away from it. And that is what Pep Guardiola has done. When many people have questioned him and doubted him, he's continuously found ways to do things. He's been very clever with the media, how he's tweeted his messages at times at the right time and said the right things. But he's a master at what he does. And he deserves so much credit because it's not easy to do this. But again,
to keep doing it.
And maybe that's a symbol as well of how well he has rejuvenated this team, because he has been criticised in the past, hasn't he, for maybe letting players go that City fans felt like still had more to give to the club. Nico O'Reilly may be the perfect example of how he is able to bring the youth through.
But I remember when they let David Silva go and Phil Foden came in. Everyone said, oh, you can't get David Silva. What are you doing? Phil Foden comes in, he's great. They let Kevin De Bruyne go now, Nico O'Reilly steps in. This is one of the best managers we've ever seen. He knows what's coming. He knows the truth. He let Cole Palmer leave, by the way. This is what he knows. He knows what builds his teams, who can do what he wants them to do. Ryan Cherki, for me, is one of my favourite footballers to watch. And I love the fact that the personality and the way that he is, he shows it. And Pep hasn't taken that out of his game. But one player who won't get any credit, but was fantastic today, Núñez, the right back, was fantastic. You can say Trossard had a bad game, all of that fun stuff. But the way he handled himself, the set pieces, Arsenal had no chance. They were just fantastic. To a man today, if you looked at the squad, you'd have said, right, Ake, we're not sure. Kusanov, we're not sure. Every single one of them was fantastic.
And I like Ryan Cherki for Pep, because for me, sometimes you get these players, they're so programmed in Pep's way. Ryan Cherki's that one with rough around the edges to say, yeah, I'm going to do what I want. And he's that talented, and he knows how talented he is. And we talked about him getting an opportunity today in a big game. He got his opportunity and he took it, because he grew in that second half as well. And then when you watch him play, the touches, the way to carry the ball and how he's so comfortable, he's a special player where I describe him as an artist. You've got to let him go out and play. You can't overcoach a player like him.
What about the set pieces though, Troy? Because you pointed out just how well Manchester City were able to stop Arsenal as well from dead ball situations.
Yeah, I thought they were great. Look, they've gone half and half here. So they've got some going man to man and some at the back post. But the first thing they did, won the first contact, then they put pressure on the second one. Look at Semenyo now, going out,
Sorry,
stopping
Troy,
it again.
just stop you there.
big man.
It doesn't even matter.
Happy birthday.
O'Reilly to join us. Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You just celebrated your 21st birthday yesterday, right? I mean, what a better birthday present is there than a brace and the Carabao Cup trophy?
It's been a great weekend. Yeah, I'm in disbelief. I don't know what to think at the minute, but yeah, I'm gonna celebrate tonight with my friends and family, and then yeah, straight into international break.
That's come at the wrong time, though, right? You want to have a good couple of days there. You want to get bang on it today, surely.
Yeah, so international starts on Friday for me. So
happy days.
And Nico, by the way,
I'll
Troy,
be all right.
Yeah, little trip to Dubai a bit before then.
Don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
Troy was just telling everybody where you were going to celebrate, so don't be surprised if he crashes it
If I
tonight.
gate crash, I apologise. I do just want to say, though, again, over the course of this game and this season, you've excelled, obviously, at left back and in the middle. I personally see you as a midfielder, long term, breaking in and doing the way you do at the back post. How does it feel to be able to switch your mind from a left back to a centre mid? Because for most people, they struggle with one position. You're able to be top class in two positions.
No, it can be tough. Obviously, I can have my games where I'm a bit off it. I just seen in the first 20 minutes at Real Madrid away in the Bernabeu, I got caught up in behind me a few times. So yeah, it's hard to keep switching. But I mean, to be a world-class player, a top player, which I'm trying to aspire to be, you need to be able to just switch and adapt to different positions, and it's a good attribute to have as well.
At the highest level, you never see Kepa drop the ball like that, but you gambled in there anyway.
Yeah.
When you saw him drop it, how happy were you to see him drop that football there 2 yards away from the goal?
My eyes lit up. Yeah, I just threw my head at it, and yeah, the rest is history.
Nico, you guys were growing into the game towards the end of the first half. And then there we go, we're going to watch your goal again today. So in those moments, like you said, you just eyes lit up and got there and just the desire.
Yeah. No, Pep did say to me before the game, Zubimendi will be man marking, you're so tight, you're stronger than him, you're bigger than him. So yeah, go and win them headers. So yeah, people always tell me to go and run in the box and head the ball, head down. I've had a lot of advice for that, so that's what I try and do. And
Can I ask you a question? Sorry, Lex. Can I ask you a question? Everyone's talking about the psychological edge today. Obviously, Arsenal, you're chasing them in the league. They're going all guns blazing. What does this do now to you guys? Don't give me the nonsense answer of game after game. What does this do for you boys?
it does a lot for us. Build momentum and just push on now. Obviously, it's a big blow for them as well. They was going for everything, just as we was, but...
Do you smell blood in the water now?
Yeah, 100%. I think that the blood never went. We've always smelled blood. We're confident within ourselves. We know we can do it. They've got to come to our place, which is not a tough place to come to, as everyone's seen this season. So, yeah, we do smell blood, and we're going to keep going.
I just got a little quick one for me. That second half transformation for you guys, what was the most important message, or the message that Pep said leading into that second half?
It was to find the space on the right with Ryan Cherky. We seen the space was there because Rice likes to jump into Rodri or Bernardo. So we seen Cherky was the free man, and yeah, that's where the goals came from, the right side. So worked.
Obviously, we're going to speak to Pep in a second. What's he like, though? I've had a couple friends that I've played with that have been managed by him, and they say he's the best. What makes him so great?
Just his winning mentality. He wants to win everything. Yeah, he wants us to work hard every day. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Nico, we got to go to break. Show us the winner's medal, mate, because most of us can't ever see this. Get out there. Can we get a little zoom in on
Go
that?
on, Zad.
I thought you were gonna say his tattoo. No risk, no story. I like that.
That's a good one as well. Get that in the camera. That's unbelievable. Listen,
Shows for tonight.
big fan. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank
Happy
you very
birthday.
much. Thank you, guys.
Nico, thank you so much.
Congrats. Enjoy.
See you
Enjoy
later,
your
bro.
birthday
Jaeger bombs on
celebrations
me.
tonight.
Enjoy.
Congrats.
Have another 4 for me as well.
So player of the match, Nico O'Reilly. 2 goals for him tonight. Manchester City are the Carabao Cup champions. Welcome back, everybody, to Wembley. It's good to have you still with us. Here we are, pitchside still, and Rob Green has just joined us from the commentary booth. Good to see you, Rob.
Well, thank you. It's different down here from up there.
Yeah, it's nice. Unfortunately, though, we've got to talk about the bad side of goalkeeping.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
We always get wheeled out with the bad moments. Wasn't Trafford brilliant at the start?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was a big moment in the game that we didn't realise it after 6 minutes, but it's fantastic. Now you can carry on with the bad stuff.
We want to talk all the positives. Unfortunately, not that way, because Kepa, he got the yellow card. He had that dodgy moment.
Should have been
sent
sent off.
It was,
Should have been sent off. If Doku goes down, he gets sent off.
Yeah, here's a look at the yellow card, by the way. Let's start with that. What did you think, Rob?
These are the difficult ones for a goalkeeper that doesn't play a lot. It's the moments of decision on balls over the top and crosses. And you're having to negotiate where one player is, where the defender is, where the attacker is. And it's that space, the ball travelling over a long distance of time, the bounce of the ball, everything makes it that bit harder when you haven't been playing a lot. He got spared there, didn't he? You felt like that was the best case scenario, receiving a yellow card.
Right here. If Doku goes down there, I think he's cooked.
And he goes back round again after, so very fortunate to stay on.
Yeah, it was fortunate, but that and the fact that it was right by the touchline saved him.
That's fair.
Do you think there's a chance that might have knocked his confidence a bit? Because here is the goal that he did concede, and this is a bit of a look-away moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wave after wave of attack, and he's desperate to take the pressure off, and he's thinking, I want to catch the ball. And you see that the lack of pace on the ball, it's not fired across. It was fired across a bit harder. He'd think, I'm just going to get a touch on it, get a nick on it. But it's a fraction. You're talking millimetres too high for him to catch it. And really, you're thinking, just get a touch on it, help it on its way. He doesn't know what's behind him because of his positioning. He's square on. Therefore, he can't see behind him. And in this moment here, he's thinking, catch, when it should be just flick it on.
There was another word he was going to use. It wasn't. It started with a C there.
Another goalkeeper.
No, goalkeepers union.
Perfect timing.
Are we going to
Peter.
explain?
I've just
Have you? Okay.
dug him out
so
of a
don't
hole.
ask me about it then.
Peter, what were your thoughts? Did you think it was a red card, by the way? We were just looking at the yellow card incident for Kepa. Did you think it was
Did he get
red?
a yellow card? No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that the referee did wrong there was he jumped the gun a little bit. He should have let it play. I don't think it was a red card. The yellow card, yes, but he should have let it play out a little bit because Kepa was out of position. Doku had the ball, he turned in, and then he stopped the game. But apart from that...
But you're talking big moments. Wembley is all about big moments.
Absolutely.
Trafford had his big moment and nailed it. Kepa had his big moment and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Kepa's been there 5 times before with Chelsea, and he's never won. So, you know, it's a little bit, it's a little bit sad.
Can I ask you two guys, if you're Raya now, you know you're number one, you want to be in these moments, right? How hard is it to sit back and kind of console the number 2 at this moment when you probably think you want to play?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a tough one as a number one. You have that relationship, that communication. But on the flip side, if you're Kepa, I don't think you'd come if you weren't playing in the cup games. And so you have that understanding at the start of the season to say, look, you are the cup keeper. He was the most expensive goalkeeper in the world at one point. He was one that everyone thought was going to be fantastic. So in his own right, he has that area to be on the pitch for today. He's earned that. Let go and do it.
So you think still the right decision to, hindsight's easy, but at the beginning the right decision.
Because so just imagine that you get to the Champions League final, for instance, and Raya gets injured after 10 minutes. Then you have to play a goalkeeper who's not played all game, all season, if he doesn't play the cup games. I think you stick by that. It's a nice bit of loyalty that's still left with some managers in football, and I like that. It's not a lot of loyalty in football anymore.
No,
so I like that a lot. I don't think, to be honest, I know probably the tipping point is that small mistake, and it gets a goal. I don't think that's why Arsenal's not winning today. Man City came out as a different team in the second half, and they played extremely well and played Arsenal extremely well, and Arsenal didn't have an answer to it. And I think it's because of the way they play. They're too instructed.
Yes.
There's not a lot of imagination. There's not a lot of freedom. Players taking responsibility, and they kind of look out and
Sorry, Peter,
kind of
so I don't want to interrupt you. Just for a second, I want to say goodbye to anybody joining us on the Golasso Network. If you are, make sure you switch over to Paramount Plus. Our post-match will continue there.
Semenyo has joined us. Micah Richards is with us sometimes as he keeps hugging and having selfies with various City players that go past. Congratulations, winners. Medal, which is what you joined for.
Yeah, 100%. First of many. I'm excited, I'm happy, and many more to come.
What were you feeling like before this final, you personally?
Very chilled.
Were you?
Very chilled and relaxed. It's just another game for me.
Was that because of the players in the dressing room? Did they make you feel very chilled and relaxed?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
what
just like we had a game plan, and if we got a game plan right, we would win, and we done that today, so we're all proud and happy.
What about the position? You've played up front, you've played on the wing.
Yeah.
On the wing, you was devastating. You prefer that position?
Yeah, I think I just have that freedom to do what I want, get at defenders and cause problems, and that's what I done today. Had Nkapie running around a little bit, but
you had on his hind legs, bro.
Well, listen, it's just what I do. It's my job, and just gives me that freedom.
Did you feel as the game wore on that you could get real success down that right-hand side, because that's really where the goals come from, because Nkapie had been booked?
Yeah. As soon as he got booked, he was backing off a lot, so it gave me the opportunity to drive at him, get in the box, cause problems, cross, shoot, whatever it was. So, yeah.
When you signed from Bournemouth, I obviously watched you so much there. Can you believe how well things have gone? Because you was flying for Bournemouth, and then you never quite know how it's going to go. But you've just got to Man City, and it feels like you're taking your game to another level, if that was possible.
It feels like a fairy tale, if I'm honest, but I feel like I've got a lot more to show. I feel like I want to be playing out wide, I want to play as a 9, I want to show how versatile I am, and just help the team as much as we can. So, yeah, I'm enjoying my football, and it can only get better.
Never, with all due respect, never mind the signing for Bournemouth. Go the 15-year-old you who had fallen out of love a little bit with football, and now you're here playing for Manchester City with a winners' medal around you. What would you say to the 15-year-old you now?
God's got a plan. Listen, it might not work out, and you might not know why, but the answer always reveals itself later on. So that's what I would say.
Is this an easy dressing room to join and be part of, given you are joining a group of winners, or can it be intimidating in any way?
A little bit of both. It's like they've won so many trophies, so this feels like it's just another one for them. But for me, it's so personal. I've never won a trophy before, so I give God all the glory. And to answer your question, it's not intimidating. I feel like everyone's got their experience, and they keep the guys that are new calm, level-headed, and like today, we had our game plan, done everything right, and victorious.
Jamie had a question that I didn't let him ask Bernardo Silva, so you can ask Antoine now.
I was just talking about what does this do for the title race? You've obviously 9 points behind. You've got a game in hand. Arsenal have to go to the Etihad. Do you think that maybe leaves Arsenal a bit of scar tissue and it gives you the ascendancy?
I think it gives us a boost. It gives us confidence coming back from the international break and hopefully catching up. I feel like we don't want to say too much because momentum can swing very quickly. So we just have to do our jobs leading up to that game and hopefully we can finish off the job potentially.
Funny old sport, isn't it? It comes off the back of a difficult couple of weeks with the Real Madrid stuff and a couple of disappointing results in the league. You are right, it can change very quickly.
Yeah, it can. So, I mean, we've got top quality players, we create a lot of chances and we've got good goal scorers. So, listen, it can change very quickly.
Go on, we'll let you go because you might get cold. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We can get more reaction now. Nathan Ake, again, I think with Pat.
Nathan, you've won a lot of things with this club already, but how special is this one? How different from the others?
No, it's very special. Obviously, last season we didn't win anything, so we wanted to win something this season, and I think this was a perfect way to do it. Against title contenders. So in the end, it was a good win.
How much was that on the back of your head? The fact that you haven't won anything last season, and this is such a winning club.
Yeah, exactly. We are expected to win things. We expect that from ourselves. Last year was disappointing, so this year you wanted to do well, and we came again to the final of the Carabao this year, and if you are here, you want to win it. So very happy.
As one of the senior players, how do you see your role just trying to transmit this to the players who have arrived at this club in the past couple of years, the culture, the winning culture of Manchester City?
Well, suddenly you're one of the older ones. It's a bit weird, but no, we have a lot of young, talented players. But as you see, a lot of mentality as well. I think the manager already, touched on it every day in training, every day in meetings. That we're expected to win, and obviously we have had our ups and downs this season. But I think today we showed, like even the young players, Nico O'Reilly scoring 2 goals. That everyone's got the mentality to do good things.
How do you see this title leading up to more things for this team that is in formation, especially a boost for the Premier League fight?
Yeah, it's a massive boost, I think. Every title is one you take, and I think this, as you said, gives a bit of a boost. Obviously now there's an international break, but after that we come back and we go again. You never know what's going to happen. Obviously there's a lot of points behind, but you never know. We have the FA Cup as well. We're going to give everything and then we'll see.
Well done then.
Thank you very much.
Nathalie Gedra with Nathan Ake. Let's look at the 2 goals. Kepa will take all the flack, Ian, for the first one. But City were dominating all of the Arsenal team at that stage.
Yeah, they were. Because like Bernardo said there, after the first 15 minutes, they kind of felt comfortable. But it was just one of those where you're just hoping that, okay, Arsenal, stay in it so as we can maybe get to the substitutions, and then bam, this happens. It's such a blow. It's such a blow at that time because we're already on our heels and we're trying to get into the game, finding it very difficult from all quarters. And then, the goalkeeper, I think he's too close to the near post there, and it's just a fumble. And it's unfortunate because, like I say, he had faith in him, tried to play him, all that sentimental stuff I said at the start of the game, and then this happens, and that's what can happen, unfortunately.
I don't know if we can re-cue that, actually, because I want to talk about it from a defensive point of view. Wright was talking his stuff there. And just in terms of defensively being on a yellow card. And in Capie, we talked about Semenyo had him on toast today. Yeah. But just his position here. Nkapie is known for being very aggressive. When he plays left back, he goes then to engage Bernardo Silva. But because he's on that yellow card, he doesn't want to go. And now he's got players. And you wanted to talk about O'Reilly, didn't you, Jay?
Well, I just think this is the benefit. Now, Nico said it in that interview with Patrick Davis, said that he was a midfielder all his career. But not only is he a midfielder, look at the size of him. He's about 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. That then becomes a mismatch with Zubimendi. This is your point, Michael. Get tighter. Don't let him get into the box. It's too easy.
But he would get tighter if he wasn't on that yellow card. And that is the difference. And that's where I think Arteta should have made the change at half-time, because when you're defending on a yellow card, you defend differently, especially when you're up against someone like Semenyo on that right-hand side.
Which I suppose was what I was trying to say was the final most important error comes from the goalkeeper. Yeah. There are other things in the build-up that you could highlight as not going how Arsenal would have wanted them to go?
Yeah, but I think that the main thing has been pointed here. Pep's really up for it. You know, the main thing has been pointed out there by Jamie there with Nkapio, because when he gets on the ball, he's got 4 or 5 yards. He can actually pass it past him. You know, he can pass it past him. Say hello. You're coming in. What's that?
Erling Haaland has just joined us, and we're going to show the second goal that Nico O'Reilly scores. You could talk us through it, Erling, as Nico O'Reilly scores, because this is a very good header, isn't it?
Yeah. Take it a bit back when I start pressing, though. no, I needed a bit more.
You want to get it any further back? I can't do that.
Because I was running like a dog then.
Yeah. You must be very pleased for him.
I mean, first of all, Jeremy, amazing game. You know, he held the ball for us, amazing, and won loads of balls. And I think also that was so good. Let's speak about the goal. Sorry.
It's a beautiful goal.
Yeah, I mean, Bernardo fills up in the box. Antoine, that's what we need to do. We need to get many in the box because, you know, it's a bigger chance of scoring when the more you have there. And what a ball from Mateus is amazing. And
we're all over the place there.
Yeah.
This is like
it's a beautifully placed header, though, isn't it?
No, I mean, and this is not the first time he's done it this season. He's done it. I don't remember which games. It was a home game against, I can't remember, Newcastle or something.
Yeah.
I had an amazing header. So, I mean, what a game for him, and I'm so happy for him, to be honest.
It's a great run, Erlen. I just want to bring your attention to Bernardo Silva's run into the box here, because that then takes Saliba. You can see him here. He then gets Saliba's attention, and that just lets in Nico O'Reilly just behind him. Fantastic run.
I mean, and that's what we need to do. We need to work around each other, and we need movement in the box, because this is what happens then. And we need to cross more as well, like this. So yeah, what an amazing day.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
we need to get off air on ITV, so thank you very much. Congratulations. Manchester City have won the Carabao Cup. They've beaten Arsenal by 2 goals. So we're going to continue our coverage on Sky Sports and on Sky One, but if you have been watching on ITV, it is time for us to leave you. Our attention will turn back to the title race with that 9-point gap, and the two sides meet, of course, in the middle of April the 19th. But the first blow has been struck by Manchester